The goal! Seattle! And it goes! Who else but Megan Rapinoe? A summer-like day in Seattle as the opening weekend of play and the National Women's Soccer League continues with an East versus West matchup between Sky Blue FC and the Seattle Reign. And great to have you with us from Memorial Stadium at Seattle Center, along with University of Washington head coach Leslie Gallimore. I'm Tom Glasgow. Season number 4 for the Reign. Leslie, 2 outstanding regular seasons, the dominant regular season team in the league, but they still have that last hurdle to get over, and that's winning it all.
Yeah, certainly. I'm sure that's at the forefront of their mind. But knowing Laura Harvey and the team and how they are about the game, they enjoy the journey. They enjoy every day of training. They enjoy every match. I don't think this team's a team that's going to look down the road just at that. I think they're going to approach it professionally and go one game at a time. And
on the field, one of the most dynamic offensive players in the league in Kim Little, very special talent.
Yeah, year-round, every country she plays in and plays for, she's just special to watch. She's tactically one of the most savvy players I've ever seen. She's quick with her feet. She's quick without the ball. And she just causes fits for the other team and makes her teammates look outstanding.
MVP of the league in 2014. And a newcomer on defense, Stephanie Cox, retiring from the Reign, and that void filled by a rookie out of Florida State in Carson Pickett.
Carson Pickett, wicked left foot, had a tremendous college career. Today we've got 2 rookies that are national champions, one in Carson Pickett and one we'll talk about in a minute. But she can get up and down the left side. She can serve a mean ball. She just doesn't get beat 1 versus 1. Great for her to be able to get the start today.
And for Sky Blue FC coming in this direction from New Jersey, hoping that this is a turnaround season under a new head coach in Christy Hawley. And they have another Christy that makes an impact on this roster, and that's Christy Rampone, just continues to play at a high level north of the age of 40.
Yeah, Christy Rampone, the penultimate soccer mom, following in the footsteps of Joy Fawcett. But she, she's just a machine. She's smart, she's a leader, she'll get this team going, and they're going to rely heavily on her for her leadership.
And in Raquel Rodriguez, a rookie out of Penn State, a midfielder on this squad, a player that you handed a very significant award to recently. She's an outstanding talent, Raquel Rodriguez.
Yeah, Raquel Rodriguez out of Penn State, Costa Rican international, had the dream season, scored the winning goal, got the national championship, the first ever for Penn State. Talk about a tremendous young person. I was fortunate enough to hand she and Jordy Morris their Herman Awards for the Missouri Athletic Club back in March, and just a tremendous young woman. Great to meet her, and again, she's going to be tested today against the midfield of the Reign.
Sky Blue looking to make a very important statement today if they can get it done with an upset of the Reign. Meanwhile, Seattle hoping to take that first step toward what they hope will be that elusive championship in the National Women's Soccer League.
Jeans are what made Kazi look like Tomo, gave Allison her freckles, and put the blue in Jordan's eyes. And jeans are what can help the Swedish Cancer Institute choose which treatment will work best for each individual patient. At the Swedish Cancer Institute, we call this new way of treating cancer personalized medicine. But people like Sherry call it a ticket back home. The Swedish Cancer Institute. Extraordinary care, extraordinary caring.
In 1935, 18 workers each contributed 50 cents to start BECU. The first loans helped coworkers buy the tools they needed to do their jobs. Today, we're Washington's leading credit union, and we're still banding together to make our money go further. Because while others stay motivated by profits, we're motivated by something greater, our members. Join us.
And we are just about ready for a kickoff between Sky Blue FC and Seattle Reign FC here at Memorial Stadium. Last season, the Reign with a record of 13 wins, 3 losses, 4 draws, 43 points. Sky Blue a season ago, 5 wins, 8 losses, and 7 draws. Our referee today is Karen App. The assistant referees, Amanda Ross and Charles Spaniola. And the fourth official, Levi Rippey, as we are underway here in Seattle. And Kim Little immediately on the ball for the Reign.
Good to be back, Tom.
Be back with you as well.
And in case anyone was worried about missing the Reign today, they have worn their neons, their new kit. Might have to put your sunglasses on. It's a beautiful day here in Seattle, and they're hoping to light up the field.
Expecting a crowd in excess of 3,500. A good portion of them on the side that you will not see on camera, the south side of the stadium. I don't think it's a coincidence that that's where the new beer garden is located as well. So you get the draw of being able to not only see the soccer, but easy access to the beverages. And we want to thank for the beer garden this year, Georgetown Brewery and Number 6 Cider. Thanks for expanding the experience in this 4th season, not only of the Seattle Reign, but of the National Women's Soccer League. What are some of the things we should look for early out of Seattle? A lot of the foundation pieces back with this team.
Yeah, I think they've enjoyed a tremendous preseason. They had some of their internationals missing for a little bit of that spell, but it gave some of the other players on the roster, some of the newer players, a chance to find their way. And the Reign hasn't changed much from last year to this year, but what they've added, I think, is going to really help this team be great.
So the lineup defensively for Seattle: Kendall Fletcher, Ellie Reed, Lauren Barnes, Carson Pickett, who we mentioned in the open, the midfielders, Keelan Winters, the captain, along with Kim Little, Jess Fishlock, and then up front, Beverly Yanez, Merritt Mathias, and Manon Mellis, a newcomer and a very explosive player. This is Yanez. Arrived in Seattle as Bev Goebel.
Yeah, you have a little bit of everything in the front line of the Seattle Reign with the combination of Yanez, Mellis, and Merritt Mathias. Merritt is just a worker. She's skillful and she's a great player and she's got good speed, but what you're going to get out of her is just will. She's going to grind things out. She's she's not going to physically let down against any type of defender. She'll be up for the challenge and she'll get goals this year. Bev Yanez, so mobile off the ball, so hard to keep track of for the other team's defenders, and again, a tremendous finisher. In Manon Mellis, you have just speed, skill, finishing ability, and someone who can just tear you apart just on the dribble and off the ball.
Of course, in goal for the Reign, one of Leslie's former players at the University of Washington, Coach Solo.
Yeah, Hope's back in that, and I think that Hope has looked, she's looked good this year. She looked good last year in the World Cup, and you'll read some of the things that she's been interviewed by FIFA, and I would have to agree with her. Amy Griffin and I are two of her biggest critics, and I think the absolute, top to bottom tournament for Hope, and it might happen in the Olympics this summer, the best has yet to come. She's still got a complete tournament in her where I think she will, show what she's really made of. She has a high standard for herself. Starting off this half, looking straight into the sun. So if Sky Blue were smart, they try to really work to get some shots off.
Great ball to Kim Little in the box. Very patient player. The shot and the save by Caroline Casey. Casey's defensive line is filled with at least half of it with two veterans of the U.S. women's national team and outstanding players in Kelly O'Hara, Christy Rampone. They're joined on the back line by Erin Simon and Erica Skrosky. The midfield, Taylor Lytle, Kelly Conheaney, Raquel Rodriguez, and Sarah Killian. And then up front, Shauna Gordon and Natasha Kai. And for Natasha Kai, it's a return to soccer after a stint playing some rugby.
One of the best ever, if not the best ever, out of the state of Hawaii. Natasha Kai was I don't know how many caps she has. We'll have to look that up, but she was a mainstay on the national team for quite a bit, and then went and played some rugby, and now she's a little bit of a surprise signing by Sky Blue. So we'll see what she can do here this evening. On the ball right now, you see Erica Skrosky. I had the pleasure of working with the under-23 national team. First ever invite into camp in January, then made the roster to go to Croatia to the Istria Cup. Erica really impressed. She is off her senior season at Rutgers, where their team enjoyed the best season, I think, in school history. She's got ice in her veins. She's really composed for a young player, and it's really exciting to see her make the start tonight for Sky Blue.
And Sky Blue playing under new head coach Christy Hawley. He's been an assistant. Jim Gabarra left after last season, made his way to the Washington Spirit. So really a clean slate for this team that finished near the bottom of the standings in 2015.
Yeah, they're really, as much as it's a clean slate, he was an assistant with the team, and I think one of the things that people have been critical of with the Sky Blue franchise is that as an assistant, they ended up hiring him, but it took almost 3 months to name a coach, and he was named barely before the draft, and I don't know that that's good policy for ownership, but hopefully, the team is responding, and they've had a good preseason, and that they'll come out this year and make a little bit more noise than they did last year.
6 new starters for Sky Blue. A lot of players to try to integrate into not only a system, but get acquainted with each other. And of course, Seattle again with so many players returning, and there's one on the ball who's really kind of an engine for this team in Jess Fishlock. It's really, you move Carson Pickett in, you bring Manon Mellis in, but beyond that, these are players that are really very familiar with each other.
Yeah, they get a good groove going, and the one thing I do know about this team is that they are there's a lot of professionalism amongst them. Even the domestic players like a Keelan Winters, a Lou Barnes, Ellie Reed, Bev Yanez, they've played internationally. So to go along with the international players themselves in Fishlock and Little and Mellis, there's a tactical sophistication to this team that you don't see.
A bit of a miss hit by Merritt Mathias. Well played ball to her from defender Ellie Reed.
Yeah, you don't see in a lot of teams in the league. Yeah, that one looked a little bit rushed there by Merritt. She'd like to have that one back. You can tell a little bit by the old shoulder head thrown back, but she'll get those opportunities again, I'm pretty certain.
2 goals and 2 assists for the Reign last season for Mathias.
So you're already getting a little...
Look at this! Reverse spin on the ball. I don't know if I've ever seen anything quite like that, but a near goal for Mellis.
However that ricocheted off her, the backspin saved Caroline Casey and Sky Blue.
Just that close to an early 1-0 Seattle lead. And that was that effort by Mellis to put pressure on the keeper Casey.
Well, what I was just about to say is what you'll notice from the Reign and most games and against most teams, they will come out and they'll press you right away. And here you're going to get a taste of, well, Erica Skrosky is going to get a taste of Manon Mellis' speed. Just a little bit of a heavy touch there, let it roll out, but she's got pace.
Manon Mellis, the Netherlands' all-time goal scorer, 55 international goals and 132 caps, just to give you an idea of her explosiveness. Headed by Pickett. Here's Winters. Getting way to Fishlock. Jess Fishlock with space to operate. And a good job by Rampone.
Yeah,
also Killian did.
Yeah, the other one you'll notice is a little bit, I would say an unsung hero, but she was a little bit at UCLA when they won the national championship. Last year's first round pick in Sarah Killian's her second year in the league out of UCLA and a New Jersey native, or Indiana native. She just kind of does her work. It's, you play in that 6th spot, and that's your job, is to be a consistent ball winner, plug up holes, turn balls over, and be a link player in transition. And I think Sarah does that really well. I think she struggled a little bit with injuries last year, and I'm hoping for her that she has a healthy season this season. So one of the things you'll probably see in this game is part of the game plan, and you noticed it in transition before when they tried to combine through the middle of the Reign is that the Sky Blue midfield collapsed on them pretty quickly. They don't want to let them set a lot of play through that midfield with Winters, Fishlock, and Little. You'll possibly see a lot of that as well.
We've seen a lot of just Fishlock on the deck over the first 3 seasons here in Seattle. Very aggressive player. She was the recipient that time of the foul call. And back on the ball over to Winters now. Winters, captain of this Reign squad.
And this is where the Reign want to do a lot of their work. They got their entire team minus Hope in the front half of the field. They want to show patience in their build-up. That was a little bit probably early to serve it. They could have worked it back out, but again, they're pressing in, so they've maintained possession in the front half.
Flag up, offside.
If they can get a rhythm and set in the front half like that, the other team will be in for a long day.
Caroline Casey getting the nod in goal today over a keeper who spent last season as a backup here in Seattle, and Caroline Stanley.
Casey out of John Daly's tribe at William & Mary, home of Jill Ellis, home of Erica Walsh, coach at Penn State. A lot of great players and coaches out of his program there. JD's really a legend at William & Mary.
Idle unable to control that pass from Rampone. Seattle with the early edge in regards to possession so far. So we're in the 12th minute of play here in Seattle. Kendall Fletcher give up the throw into Sky Blue. Nice for a rookie in Carson Pickett, Leslie, to come into a group so experienced with obviously Hope in goal, but in Ellie Reed and Lauren Barnes and Kendall Fletcher, this is a really tight group, great communication, and that can only help her transition from the college game to the pro game.
What a great draft pick by Laura Harvey. What I will say about Carson Pickett, there's a big spread, and the Seattle Times today that featured her and the team. But playing at Florida State, winning a national championship with Coach Mark Krikorian, one of the things that everybody knows about Florida State are the number of international players he recruits and puts on his team. So for her to come into a team with this kind of experience, it probably isn't as big a jump up as it is for some other college players.
We just saw Raquel Rodriguez on the ball. How does her game, which was obviously so good at Penn State as the National Player of the Year a season ago, how does that transition to the NWSL?
Well, she has international experience as well with a country, Costa Rica, which is on the upswing as far as women's soccer and CONCACAF is concerned, and she's really taken it upon her shoulders to be an advocate for women's soccer in Central America and her country in particular. Her game at Penn State, it'll be interesting to see how they play her here. They have her in the 10 role, playing right behind the forward line. She's good on the ball, and getting her in front of goal. She was a goal scorer for them, but she was also a great playmaker. So it'll be interesting to see if she can emulate that a little bit here at the professional level in a rookie season. There's a lot on her shoulders.
For Costa Rica, really a tremendous job. 25 goals in 40 matches. Winners over to Pickett. Fishlock up ahead, looking for Little. Well defended that time by Raquel Rodriguez, who's taken down from behind by Fishlock.
And there you see Sarah Killian again, wanting to be on the ball. She's in good passing lanes. She makes it difficult for teams to penetrate through the midfield by just sitting in good spaces.
Rampone up ahead, looking for Kai. And Pickett, nice little touch up ahead to Yanez. Little. Last season, a very good one for Kim with 10 goals. She had 7 assists. That was tops in the NWSL. So the season before, though, that she arrived here and really set the league on fire with 16 goals and 7 assists on her way to the league MVP award.
Yeah, and last year Crystal Dunn kind of went on a tear and ripped that title away. But Kim is about team championships, and she's going to do her part, whether it's assists or scoring goals. And there's so much talent on this team that tends to get spread out a little bit.
Barnes with the left foot. And Here's Natasha Kai with some space to operate. Lays it out wide to Shauna Gordon.
Good build up there by Sky Blue.
Their best offensive surge forward so far, and the header and the goal.
Great build up and a great finish.
Natasha Kai with the first goal this season for Sky Blue FC. A terrific job as she puts it home. The header, and Sky Blue FC with the goal. And we'll see if this will go down as the 15th minute, possibly the 16th minute in this match. Regardless, terrific job that time by Sky Blue.
Just the entire build-up, the pace of it, the rhythm of it. A little bit of a mishap there with pressure on them. Lou Barnes should have cleared that ball instead of trying to play out in the crowd a little bit, and Sky Blue took advantage of it. And again, a quick switch out to the other side across and a finish. Can't ask for better textbook than that.
And the 1-0 advantage for Sky Blue FC, and that we'll see how Seattle responds to a bit of early adversity. Now, does this at all change? I'll get your response to this in a moment. How Sky Blue may deal with the next few minutes of this match. Rain FC matches are great for your next corporate outing or team activity. Ticket discounts are available for groups of 15 or more. Call Rain FC at 855-RAIN-FC for more information.
Now, obviously, she's quick and she's used to and likes to. She was a forward in college. Kelly O'Hara can play out of the back or up as a wing player, and she plays out of the back as a wing very, very well. You see her getting forward again there and earning a corner. Again, we've mentioned the sun and the Seattle defenses and Hope's eyes. Hopefully that doesn't cause them too much problems, but Sky Blue looking dangerous. You wouldn't want to give up a second goal here.
All headed out, not quite out of the box.
So you asked the question about how Sky Blue would respond.
Yeah, well, they maybe, how will they play with what might be described as an unexpected lead?
Well, I think, 16 minutes in, you're not just going to sit back and try to hold a 1-0 lead. You're going to try to keep to your game plan, be good in transition and defend and not give anything up, but they're not going to stop attacking. As you see here, they've had the last two attacks and the bulk of the possession.
All chipped in. Easy play for solo. That was Kelly O'Hara.
I'd say right now that the thing that if I were Laura, and maybe she's not, as pleased with, is just the individual defending effort. Just a little first touch to break pressure by Sky Blue, and it seems like they're past our players. So maybe it's a little bit of first game jitters and whatnot, but they got to shore up their 1v1 defending and be a little bit stronger in the tackle to get balls back.
Lauren Barnes. Love a halftime piece featuring Lauren and Ellie Reed, by the way, as they made a trip over to Ethiopia to help with clean water in that country. So we look forward to bringing you that at intermission.
I was just telling the three of them that this week I was invited by the U.S. Embassy and the Sports Envoy program to go right back where they were. So in May, I will be headed to Ethiopia, to the same area, to help with a couple of their teams and coaching coaches as well as coaching players. They've been eliminated pretty regularly from African qualifying, and they're looking to get better at their tactical side of things and running their national teams program. So that should be a really great experience for them.
Absolutely. Throw in for Sky Blue FC. Speaking of contributions on your behalf, the Legends campaign for the Seattle Reign getting underway at this evening's game, and Leslie was the first honoree, and this is an award that not only goes to women involved in soccer, but really beyond. And you, as the first recipient, deserve congratulations. So I want to pass that along. A nice piece of Dale Chihuly glass artwork is part of that.
I love Dale Chihuly and his work. And, more importantly, I'm really just flattered and honored to be recognized by the Reign.
Award that goes to women in this community that have a positive impact. Certainly one of many ways to describe Coach Gallimore. 22 seasons at the University of Washington. Recently honored as one of the all-time players in Pac-12 history on the all-century team, and a good battle right here between Rampone and
Merritt Mathias. Great job of picking that ball off, and she's doing a good job of defending and forcing the issue with Sky Blue a little bit. And as I mentioned before, Merritt's not going to back down. She's going to work as hard as she can until the ref tells her she can't.
Killian playing it up ahead, but directly to Ellie Reed. Bit breezy here at Memorial Stadium. They have an impact on some of the balls that are played and get a little bit of hang time.
Yeah, I think one of the things about the rain that you'd like to see a little bit more of right now is that ball that Ellie Reed had over there on the right side is just a little bit more patience. The game seems to be a little bit vertical for them right now. Part of that has to do with Sky Blue. They're doing a good job of sitting in gaps and seams and not letting them switch the point of attack. But if the more they can get Keelan on the ball, switching it out and opening it up, get Jess Fishlock on the ball, switching it out, the more effective they'll be.
Fishlock playing this one for Yanez, unable to catch up with it. Goal kick for Sky Blue. 22nd minute here in Seattle, and a 1-0 lead for Sky Blue. The goal just 6 minutes ago from Natasha Kai, the header. Speaking of, Fishlock with that header, and then Yanez unable to play it to a teammate. Lytle out to Simon.
Sky Blue's doing a good job of breaking Seattle's initial press, and they're getting into the final third relatively quickly. So anything into the middle third that gets played out of the back, they're going to want to shore that up a little bit.
Winners with a switch to Pickett. Lauren Barnes sends it right back over to Kendall Fletcher. And Winners with a chip ahead. A bad turnover by Sky Blue. Driving in on goal. Oh, what a save by Casey that time as Nellis was unable to put it home.
Yeah, and Merritt did a really good job of ghosting in and then pulling back off her defender and was standing in a good spot to finish. I think at a better angle, and I think Nellis probably recognized that after the denied shot, but you saw Erica Skrosky get turned around a little bit there. That's a rookie learning really quickly that these players are a little bit different than maybe what she's used to playing against.
Yanez tracks it down. And not her best decision right there as Rampone was waiting for it. Simon back to Rampone. Fishlock with space.
Again, this is the kind of build-up Seattle wants. This is how they like to play. Numbers in the front half, movement off the ball.
And Fishlock with the attempted volley.
And
goal kick.
Goal kick, not the coveted statistic of shot on goal for a throw-in, which no one likes to get.
Although it can happen.
But that goes in. That's why we love Jess Fishlock. We've seen her score some buttes, and that one had potential.
So some good offensive pressure by the Reign over the last couple of minutes. Killian up ahead to Conheeney. And the foul from behind as Simon put Yanez on the deck. Matthias. And they'll reset by going to Kendall Fletcher. Plays it into the 18, looking for Little, headed away by Rampone. Matthias wide left on that shot attempt.
Yeah, I was going to say, you don't want to have to down a goal, go to the long ball that much, but if you're Sky Blue, you certainly don't want to leave your clearances short and give up second opportunities like that.
First corner kick coming up for Seattle is that shot attempt, deflecting off a Sky Blue player.
Crowd getting into it here at Memorial.
Here's Little. Loose ball, but
It's a good claim by Caroline Casey.
in a lot of traffic. All played out wide. Here's O'Hara. Killian up ahead. A nice run onto the ball for Sky Blue. Drop back, the shot.
Yeah,
Another good build-up and a quick attack by Sky Blue
yeah.
FC.
Kelly O'Hare has been tough out of the back on the left. Our right side has got to shore that up. You can't give her too many opportunities to serve it. She definitely had some people open in the box.
I think that was Conhini on the shot.
The two central backs for the Reign, Fletcher and Barnes, were looking for the offside call. It looked like it could have been close, but she did come from behind, so
Foul on Matthias.
we're going to give the nod to the referee.
Good look right there at a legend of the women's game in Christy Rampone. Last I heard about her a couple months ago was all about knee problems and knee issues, and would she be able to continue her career? And
Next thing you
she's
know,
really
here
just
she
remarkable.
is. She,
Really remarkable.
I think I mentioned at the beginning the word machine. How we talk about it all the time about being the 24-hour athlete and how you treat your body and how you, soccer's a rough game, and if you're fortunate enough to have longevity in it, it has a lot to do, a little bit to do with luck, but a lot to do with how you train yourself and how you take care of yourself. And from the time she broke onto the scene as Christy Pierce from Monmouth College on the U.S. national team, and then became Christy Rampone and mother of two girls, she's certainly been someone that everyone on that team has looked up to.
Out of Point Pleasant, New Jersey, of course, representing New Jersey as a member of this Sky Blue squad. Handful of New Jersey natives on this team, so it speaks well for the quality of the youth soccer programs in
New
that
Jersey's,
area.
has always been a hotbed. There's another player, can't remember her name. She plays for the Houston Dash. Carly something. Lloyd, yeah, she's from New Jersey, I
Pretty
believe.
good.
Yeah,
Scored
she's
the
all
winning
right.
goal yesterday.
She's all right.
Good defensive pressure by Yanez. Now getting some help from Fishlock, and Seattle claiming the throw, and it will be theirs.
Seattle enjoying some success out of the press. Now if they can convert on one of these final third turnovers and draw the game even, they'd be pleased.
And Fishlock going down, no foul call. Pickett with the cross in the area of Mellis. And Sky Blue with the possession now, looking to counter. Raquel Rodriguez with some room. Kai unable to get control of the ball. Fishlock unable to connect with the pass. Good defense there by Taylor Lytle.
Taylor Lytle, player out of Texas Tech University, from Las Cruces, New Mexico.
Kendall Fletcher to Fishlock. And the quick touch by Little. Unable to make that connection with Ellie Reed.
Obviously, gives Sky Blue credit. I think they've been good defensively. They get good numbers around the ball, and they're dropping players in. So I think the Reign are a little bit outnumbered, and they haven't been able to break pressure in the midfield. Obviously, people have a lot of respect for the three midfield players on the Reign, so they're always going to try to figure out a way to stifle it. And Sky Blue's been good at that today, and so the Reign has to be a little bit cleaner technically, play a little bit quicker, and move a little bit more off the ball to be able to set their rhythm and keep possession.
Foul on that play. We'll pick your favorite 5 matches and put together your perfect package. Match packs are a great way to see the matches you won and receive discounted ticket prices. Call 855 REIGN FC for more information. Of course, this season, like the World Cup season, will feature an interruption of league play for the NWSL in August as the focus will turn to Rio.
With the international break and in August, it'll be interesting to see how the league kind of flows, and it's the World Cup and Olympic years are always a test for professional leagues. In the NWSL in season 4, I think they've worked something out that everyone's okay with, and we'll see how it pans out for this team.
Terrific job by Bev Yanez to control that ball, send a dangerous pass into the 18, and it will result in the second corner kick for Seattle.
Just the buildup of the Reign, I think they can be a little bit more patient. They've earned a corner out of it, but I think they can do better with the forwards checking into the wide channels left by the outside backs that have stretched forward. It's just a little predictable right now. I think they can keep the ball on the ground and knock it around a little bit more.
Little sends it in high. Touchdown, and a foul will go against Seattle. I think that's Merritt Mathias. And Natasha Kai shaken up a bit. Now to her feet. Rodriguez double teamed by the Reign. Fishlock coming out. Ball played forward. Excellent job that time by Caroline Casey in terms of anticipation. Weather-wise, you couldn't ask for much better for mid-April here in Seattle. About 75 degrees. A terrific way to open the 2016 Seattle Reign season. Sky Blue FC, they'll have their home opener coming up next week. That'll be on Sunday, 6 o'clock kickoff against the Washington Spirit. So Jim Gabarra coming back, former coach.
Yeah, again, you notice Keelan Winters on the ball, 3 Sky Blue players. They're just not letting them set play through our midfield. It'll be interesting to see what kind of adjustments that Laura makes at halftime if the score remains 1-0 and Seattle doesn't see more of the ball. But I just think it's a matter of a little bit quicker, a little bit more movement, and cleaner.
Laura Harvey getting her first touch.
And a deft one it was.
It was very nice. Last 2 seasons, the coach of the year in the National Women's Soccer League. In many respects, seems as though she's the busiest general manager as well. 2 years ago, a lot of wheeling and dealing after a disappointing initial season for the Reign. But she has put together what many believe is the team to beat this season. Of course, for the folks back in Kansas City, they are the 2-time defending champions, and they'll have a lot to say about that, although they opened yesterday with a 1-0 loss to Western in New York.
Yeah, it's early in the season. I think there's 9 other teams that would dispute that the Reign have it locked up. So I know everyone here in Seattle believes they're capable of doing it, but they know they can't just rest on the last 2 seasons. They have to keep looking forward and building. They find themselves in their home opener down 1-0 with Sky Blue with another free kick opportunity into the sun.
Rampone playing it in. And this will lead to a penalty kick for Sky Blue, and trying to pick up the player that committed that foul for Seattle.
I think it was Merritt Mathias. As aggressive as she is, she has to recognize where she is on the field. She's doing the same thing down here in the final third to turn balls over. Need to be a little bit more careful inside the box, and hard to dispute that was the right call.
Looks like this is Sarah Killian lining up. Hope Solo. Well, you know Hope well. What's her thought process in these types of situations, Leslie?
Well, right now she's having a fun conversation with the official,
Karen Apt,
which
maybe disputing that PK call.
At first I thought the ref was maybe trying to get a little crumb rubber out of Hope's eyes for her, but apparently they were talking about something. Hope's quick. I mean, she'll look at Sarah's body language, and she's quick enough to see it and save it. I don't think she'll guess. She'll react to the body language in the ways Sarah shows, but Sarah's taking this for a reason. She's a quality PK taker.
And saved by Solo, and the header out. Well, this may be a game-saving moment as well for the Reign, as Hope Solo shows that world-class ability as she denies Sarah Killian on the penalty kick.
We'll ask her about it later, about the caution from the official. I'm sure it was fairly innocuous, but what I'll say too is, as much grief as Hope gets, I guarantee you she was probably sticking up for one of her players and just questioning. And all it takes sometimes to fire Hope up is a little controversy like that. So she got to put her money where her mouth is. She took the yellow and saved the PK. So
glad you saw that. I didn't see that card come out. So the first yellow card of the season goes to Hope Solo. I'm sure Laura Harvey willing to accept that and take the save. Barnes playing it up. And Fishlock. Lost the ball with a lot of territory ahead of her.
Everyone knows Hope is from the Tri-Cities, from Richland, Washington, and her grandma Alice Shaw is one of her biggest fans, if not her biggest fan, and for her whole life has been a rock for Hope. And unfortunately, Alice is she's a little bit of ill health right now, and hopefully she's listening to or watching the live stream today. And I just want to wish her all the best and tell her God bless, and that Hope wishes she could be here, but she's always with her in spirit. And Alice, you're the best.
Hopefully a quick recovery for her. It is to get to this level in this sport, really any sport. It is a family affair, no doubt.
Yeah.
A lot of weekend tournaments, packed lunches, no foul call as Mathias goes down, and you can hear the reaction from the Reign fans here, 3,500 plus. And that ball played forward by Shauna Gordon to no one in particular, so Reign will try to get something going here with about 7 minutes remaining in the first half, and a 1-0 Sky Blue FC advantage. The goal coming in the 15th minute, a header by Natasha Kai. Mathias. Kim Little. Haven't seen a lot of Kim on the ball here.
No, you haven't.
In the first half.
And that's what other teams are going to try to do. They're going to try to take away Fishlock, Little, and Winners from their setting play, setting the rhythm in the middle of the field. Have to be a little bit cleaner there. But what I will say, if you're talking about impactful players in the first half, you'd have to say Merritt Mathias. She's really worked hard to turn balls over. She's worked hard to get herself into scoring position and get open.
Yanez.
She made herself known in the penalty box a minute ago. But that's what she does. She's a fighter.
Yanez, Fishlock. Ball deflected away. Well defended that time. It may have been Shauna Gordon who got a foot on it.
Good numbers behind the ball there for Sky Blue, and they break out of it well.
Here's O'Hara. Well played ball up ahead. This is Lytle. She'll track it down. Wait for some support. Killian trying to split some defenders. And nicely done by Kendall Fletcher.
It's one of those things when you do give up a penalty kick and your goalkeeper ends up saving it, it boosts your adrenaline a little bit.
Yeah.
You feel a little extra sense of responsibility to make sure that you don't give anything up, at least for the next several minutes, but it sort of refocuses you defensively. These are the kind of big balls at the back half, switching out of it. If Lou can get forward quickly, I think that's what's going to spread Sky Blue out a little bit more. If they can do this with a little bit more pace and tempo.
And Pickett just a little off target. The loose ball picked up by Fishlock, but Matthias called for the foul as Killian went down. The replay here, Killian bumped into Matthias, went down. And
yeah, I don't know if that was the best call.
Ellis playing it back to Reed. Quick touch to Little. How do you think Carson Pickett's played in her first professional half of soccer?
I think she's done fine. There, for instance, she's got to read that a little bit better, not to leave the rain exposed at the back. You have to predict, is this a good time to go forward? Initially, when she played that ball, it was, but she's got to recognize when it's not on and they're about to lose possession so that she can recover a little bit more quickly than that. And only a couple miscues on her passes to connect. That one with Matthias, played it a little bit off the wrong foot, and she couldn't get to it. But all in all, I think she's done really well. She looks, and she's just a confident-looking player when she plays. She doesn't look like she's got nerves for being a rookie. She looks like a natural out there, and that she's more than ready for this level.
O'Hara playing that ball off Nellis. So a goal kick coming up for Caroline Casey with a clean sheet. Of course, the Ray nearly scoring first on a deflected ball with some serious backspin that, if not for that, would have gone past Casey and into goal. Matthias made the turn, but there was a second defender there, but doing a good effort getting the ball back. Now Ellie Reed.
I've been impressed with Sky Blue's organization defensively. From their 9-player, Natasha Kai, sliding over to the strong side and just taking away the ability to play easily through our center backs, to their midfield collapsing on top of the Reign midfield. They've done a very, very good job of eliminating easy opportunities and long stretches of possession for the Reign, which is that's their bread and butter.
Yanez taking it away to Little. And the switch coming over to Lauren Barnes. One of the top defenders in the NWSL. Good job that time by Rodriguez on Yanez. See the physical play. And Matthias on it. And Aaron Matthias shaken up a bit.
Yeah, she doesn't shy away, I'm telling you. You want her on your team. She'll get into the tackle. She's not a forward that's gonna just stand around and wait to score goals and play nice ball. She's gonna do her share defensively, and she's certainly shown that.
Wear
today
what
so
the
far.
pros wear. Pick up the new 2016 jersey for men, women, or kids. We have hundreds of Reign FC items to choose from. Head to ReignFCShop.com. Pickett, nicely done as she earns a corner. Third here in the first half for the Reign as we are in the 45th minute.
Well, if there were ever time for an equalizer, I think now would be it. The Reign, after the goal, I wouldn't say it's been one-sided. Both teams have been good.
Barnes.
A little bit of a missed time there. I'm not sure who was on what assignment there as far as, I'm guessing Fletcher. She just overran it a little bit. Kendall scored quite a few goals with her head and is great in the air, and I just think she mistimed that one a little bit. Or possibly had the sun in her eyes as well. The sun's coming from that side.
1 minute of added time here at the end of the first half. Sky Blue FC more than happy to do what it can to run this clock out in the first half and head to the locker room with a 1-0 advantage. Lytle with a touch, putting that ball out of bounds.
They've done a really good job of getting at least 2 blocks of 4, a block of 8 behind the ball, and again clogging up space and making it difficult for the Reign to set any kind of rhythm.
And Little. Fishlock. And that will do it for the first half here in Seattle. Sky Blue FC getting a goal in the 15th minute from Natasha Kai. The header, and that will take Christy Hawley's team into the locker room with the 1-0 advantage on this opening weekend of play in the National Women's Soccer League. Great to have you with us on this Sunday from Seattle, Memorial Stadium at Seattle Center. Just quick impressions in terms of what Laura Harvey may have to say to her club here at the half.
Well, I think both teams are playing well, and like I said, Kelly O'Hare is very dangerous out of the back, and Seattle looked a little bit lackadaisical on that break and gave up a goal in the 16th minute, and used Fishlock with the pass out of bounds at the end. I think the thing she's going to tell them is you got to calm yourselves a little bit, and I know how high of a standard this team sets for themselves, especially from a technical standpoint. She's going to want them just to clean up the little things, and that'll bode well for them. Breaking pressure, passes that don't go out of bounds, passes that don't lead to the wrong foot, or miss the player that they're targeted for will help them create more chances. And then just finding ways to spread themselves out in the attack in the midfield a little bit so that Sky Blue can't turn over the ball there as much.
So the 1-0 lead for Sky Blue. And we have coming up for you a trip to Ethiopia with Lauren Barnes and Ellie Reed, a very important project that they're involved in. Great to have you with us.
Ethiopia is historically and culturally and scenically, I think, one of the most interesting countries in the world. It is a very poor country, and that's why we're working there, but it's a great opportunity for our supporters to go and learn how rich a country it really is in terms of its people and its history. Water First is a nonprofit organization. We're based in Seattle, and we help people in poor countries build water systems and toilets and learn about ways that they can use those systems to make themselves healthier. In countries like Ethiopia, women walk really long distances every day to horrific water sources to collect the water that their families need to survive. So we are helping people in Ethiopia and other countries around the world address that major issue.
With Water First, there was 2 areas I liked about it. One is it's producing and helping people produce clean water, but it really benefits women and girls, because the women and girls in those villages, instead of going to work or going to school, are carrying water back and forth. And when I was over there, just seeing the girls and seeing the mothers, it was heart-wrenching that they can't spend the same amount of time in school every day because they're carrying this water back and forth. So it really sunk in for me that this was a perfect organization to work with. So Dimajeliwan is at the very beginning stages of their water project, where they're organizing themselves as a community, because this isn't just a technical solution. It's also, they have to manage a water system. So they need to elect a water committee that will be, responsible for operating and maintaining this water system. So that's the stage that they're at.
And we went down to the river to collect the water, and there's cows upstream standing in the water, and that kind of just hit home, like how unclean this water was that they're using for drinking and cleaning and everything.
I was like so taken back. I'm like, these people are drinking it, and seeing the river was really hard. It was really hard.
When you ask women in these communities, what is your greatest need? They almost 100% of the time will say it is really hard to carry water, and the water is just, it's brown, it's not just a water source for humans, there are animals that use it as well. People talked about how frequently their children were ill. I'm sure there are many children in that community who died as a result of drinking that water.
And it was hot and dusty, and you could just tell after you got it strapped on your back how heavy that would be after even walking 30 minutes. But it's not something that they can just decide not to do. Water for them is everything.
And then when we got into their home, of the two ladies that let us come in and kind of chat, it all became kind of real.
How long does their walk normally take for water, like on average?
Both sides, they spend about 1 hour.
1 hour.
Do they only do that once a day, or do they do it all day?
How many?
She says that we go or we collect water 3 times per day, sometimes more than 3.
Okay. Do they use that water for drinking?
This water?
That river water.
Mm.
Drinking too, or just washing and?
She says it is just for drinking. Yes.
That's for drinking.
The women, their demeanor, they're so shy and humble, and it's really almost inspiring because you know what they go through every single day, and they kind of act like it's really no big deal, it's just what they do.
And like it comes back, it's just their survival. Like they have to do it. And they said that some of the girls start at 8 if they're strong enough. You just really realize how blessed you are.
So we were lucky to be in Dawu Kara for the ribbon cutting ceremony. So this was marking the end of 2 years for them of building their water project.
I feel like we didn't really know what to expect when we pulled up, and there was people riding horses and singing and chanting, and all the little kids running by our car, and then some of the Water First people getting out and running with them. You know, there's just this energy you could feel building.
The new water system now is a drilled well that pumps water up to a water storage tank, and then the water flows by gravity to different public water points so that no one in the community has to walk very far for water anymore.
Just knowing that it will change entire villages. Whatever opportunities it brings, it just brings them life, which is like the most important thing.
afternoon, everyone. Thank you for having us here today. We are here to celebrate the beginning of your water project. We know that schools also work hard to learn about clean water. You are so important to the success of the water project.
So when we found out we were going to a school, we had asked Nike for some donations. So they have these black cinch backpacks, and inside of every one of them there was a penny or a bib and a miniature soccer ball. And the look in the kids' eyes when they saw the little soccer balls, they were just so excited to see that.
On behalf of the Seattle Reign Football Club, congratulations.
Being able to give the school some supplies and soccer balls and that is always really cool to see the kids' faces light up.
From there, we called upon all of the girls. It was a girls-only soccer game.
Shoving each other and having their shoes fly off and they're kicking the ball and just falling and getting right back up, and it was really cool to be a part of and to see, and I hope that some of the girls got inspired and will hop in and play with the boys now and feel that confidence and, you know, belief in themselves that they can do everything that everyone else can do.
I'm like sitting here and I'm like, I'm so happy that like one day we got to play with them and they didn't have to worry and they had like their adolescence back. And it's so fun to be able to empower them through the sport of soccer. And I think it's helped me really stay humble when I do these things.
Watching them just come out of their shells like that and see that that's inside of them and that they loved it and had so much fun, I thought that was the best day.
I mean, that's what I think starts to change people, you know, and I think girls see for themselves that they can do the things that boys can do. So I just love activities like that that allow girls an opportunity to see that they can do it too.
Nothing yells women's empowerment more than that. So the connection with Water First, I think, for the empowering girls and women was the biggest thing for me. The world is huge, and there's so many people around the world that need help like that. And we have such resources here that it's such a waste of our time and our energy while we're here on Earth not to help people.
After this trip, I fully can kind of understand how much of a difference fresh water in these villages can make for the women and the families. And definitely hit home for me, and now that I am back home, every time I turn on the water, I do think about it, and I'll think about it for the rest of my life probably.
Well, we hope you enjoyed that really incredible piece on some of the terrific work being done in Ethiopia. I would imagine that gave you a little background. Get you ready for your trip coming up.
Yeah, I just found out this week through the U.S. Embassy and the Sports Envoys, I've been able to go to Africa one time before in 2012 to Morocco, and I'm actually, oddly enough and coincidentally enough, going right back to the same area that Ellie and Lou and Teresa just spent time in, so I'm going to sit down with them and chat before I go, but it should be a wonderful opportunity.
Yeah, I tell you, it's oftentimes we don't spend enough time talking about some of the real benefits that come from professional teams in this particular case, regardless of sport, and what these athletes, they know they have a platform. They want to take advantage of it, many of them, and do some really good, positive work, not only in their communities, but around the world, as we just saw. So tip of the cap to Lauren, Ellie, and Teresa. Let's take a look at some of our highlights in the first half. And it is a 1-0 lead. And If we have some video that comes up, we can't see it on our screen, but we'll do our best to see what we have going on here. Again, we can't see video out here, just to let our folks, our crew know that we are unable to see any video or any highlights at this point. So in the meantime, some opportunities that Seattle had. There was that deflected shot with that crazy backspin that was a near goal. And then in the 15th minute, it was Sky Blue FC cashing in. Kelly O'Hara with the cross and the header by Natasha Kai. Really nice work done by two players who, of course, have done terrific work in the past for the U.S. women's national team. No surprise that they would get together.
I just felt like Seattle was a little bit loose on the goal they gave up. And, if I'd see the replay again, we'll see how Hope positioned herself. That's normally something she typically comes across her box pretty quickly and can make a play on. Whether she kind of jumped towards the service and missed the far post. But for the most part, Natasha Kai was wide open. And that was a pretty free header with no challenge.
And Seattle trying to respond after that goal with some opportunities. Matthias getting some other opportunities in the 18. And then the penalty kick with Killian, an opportunity to take advantage of a PK call against Merritt Matthias. But Hope coming up with a terrific save.
Yeah, I've talked a lot about Merritt Matthias this half. She just, the hustle, the physical work that she does, and again, she let it get the best of her a little bit inside her own defensive box, but Hope had her back, and that's something that Hope's done a couple times, is saved a penalty kick. And I don't know that Sarah hit it as well as she would have liked to, but Hope still read it the right way and was able to keep the score 1-0 as opposed to putting them in a 2-goal deficit, which everyone's happy about at this point.
So we hope those of you at home were able to see those highlights, and I hope I got lucky and maybe was synced up with a few of them along the way. But that's a recap of what went down over the first 45 minutes here in Seattle. As Sky Blue FC will begin the second half with the 1-0 lead. And boy, what a potential victory this would be for Christy Holly in his debut as Sky Blues head coach, elevated from an assistant position, but I think he'd be the first to tell you we had a lot of soccer left to play before we have things settled here at Memorial Stadium.
And again, it'll be interesting to see, what the message was from Coach Laura Harvey at halftime to her team. I do think cleaning things up on the attacking side of the ball and trying to break pressure in the center of the park is going to be important for them, being a little bit more clean in their passing. But at the same time, they've got to respect the fact that Sky Blue has come out very organized defensively. They're pitching their far side midfielder in and crowding that area in and around the center circle. So if they could get it in and then outside wide and take advantage of Manon Mellis' speed on the outside, Bev Goebel's mobility up front, they should be able to do some damage against Sky Blues back four if they can get into that area consistently.
I asked you near the end of the first half what you thought of the play of Seattle rookie Carson Pickett. What did you think of the first half play of number 11 for Sky Blue FC and Raquel Rodriguez, her first professional game?
I thought Raquel was good. She hasn't been on the ball a ton, but she's been tough and good defensively. She's played simply. She hasn't been, extra dynamic in and around the box, but she hasn't really been called on to. And I'd say the same thing. She's been tough defensively. She's a strong, hard kid and a good ball winner. And I think the biggest thing I see from Sky Blue is he has them organized, and whatever he's asked them to do, they're doing it as a team and doing it as one, and that always makes a big difference.
And again, that's saying something with 6 new starters in this lineup, bringing it all together. Coach Hawley also before the game talking about execution in the final third. Well, at the very least, there was exceptional execution on the assist from Kelly O'Hara and the goal by Kai for this 1-0 lead. And then discipline off the ball he talked about. Are you seeing that from this team?
Yeah, I think their movement is good. Even right now defensively, they're all shifting over where they're supposed to shift. They're getting onto the ball and taking away options for Seattle on the ball behind them. So they're doing a good job of defending the space in behind. And that matters. You can't give up goals. The team can't beat you. So they're fortunate here to find themselves at a 1-0 advantage, and if they can continue to defend as well as they did the first half, they got a good shot. But the Reign, they have some potent players in the attack, and I don't think they're going to just lay down and let that happen.
I want to make note of a new presenting sponsor for the Reign this season, Microsoft, and boy, it is so important for all of these teams in this league to get companies and their communities involved. So many thanks going out to Microsoft as a presenting sponsor this year. You'll see Microsoft across the kits for the Reign this season. Hardware-wise, they're providing a lot of help with their Surface Pro. Laura Harvey using that in terms of what she does. And the team also using Microsoft Sports Platform to gather data. And boy, what a terrific shot there by Natasha Kai as she had to put a little pressure on Hope right there.
Yeah, the back line was dropped off a little bit there, and Tasha Kai saw an opportunity and let one fly. Hope had it covered.
Jess Fishlock will try to get something going, playing the ball ahead, and the flag is up, offside. And they had gone against Yanez. Almost said Bev Goebel, her name when she arrived 2 seasons ago from Japan with one of our favorites, Naho Kawasumi.
Naho.
They were teammates in Japan and came over here with this squad and had an immediate impact.
Bev's been a tremendous addition to the club, and when you talk about Ellie Reed and Lou and Teresa Predmore getting out with Water First to Ethiopia, Bev Yanez, and many of the other Seattle Reign players, you just see them in and around our community. They are, they're just tremendous advocates for this club and big parts of the place that they live and the place that they call home now. And I think that when you are a professional, that's a huge sign of a well-run organization, is when the pro players get out into the community and make a difference.
Fishlock overshooting Kim Little that time. Kim comes up with the ball. She's so dangerous in these situations. Well defended that time, though, by Sky Blue. Good ball forward. Shauna Gordon plays it into the 18, headed away. Barnes got it out. Sky Blue gets it back. Rodriguez with a drop to Killian. Nice little touch by Gordon. And then O'Hara. And Solo trying to play it out quickly. Again, you could see Yanez putting her hand up, dealing with that sun, and that's going to be an issue. Caroline Casey, the keeper for Sky Blue here in the second half.
Yeah, and it's also an issue for your own team if you're looking back to get the ball and you're playing a little bit more direct. Hope's punt up into the air. Any of the long balls out of the back might be a little bit hard for the Reign to handle. They'd be best served to keep it on the ground and try to move it that way if it's an option.
Well, interesting, Seattle at Memorial Stadium, unbeaten over the last 2+ seasons. So that streak in jeopardy at this moment. In the 51st minute, a 1-0 Sky Blue lead. Good job by Winters to create some space. And looking for Kim Little. Nellis. Yanez. And Killian on the ball now for Sky Blue. Playing it up, but across the touchline and a throw in.
Good numbers in the box there. Good fight to try to keep it, but still could be a little bit cleaner and execute a little bit better in the final third. I think they're cashing it in a little bit early as opposed to trying to find better opportunities, maybe a little bit more movement to get just that much more open in the box to get something into feet.
Little to Fishlock. Jess flicks it up and in! Goal! Seattle! Fishlock with tremendous creativity.
Creativity and talking about the precision of the passing and the movement into spaces. Instead of being sort of a sitting duck and getting hammered by a defender, moving into a space and finding a ball, and then her first touch off the ball, as you see here, lifts it over. Deft touch.
Oh, it wasn't a Fishlock goal, it was a Fishlock pass.
And an assist to, I think, Merritt Mathias. Header on the far post. And
But
like
Fishlock
that, with a lot
had
of
gotten
time.
that in, but Jess instead with the assist. And we'll go Mathias with a goal.
I'm telling you, I mentioned it before. I mean, I've called her name a lot this game, and I'm happy for Merritt. You know, she works really, really, really hard. I think she's played at some other clubs. She plays with a little bit of a chip, and not a negative one. But she's the kind of player that I think every team needs. Someone who's always out to prove something. She's never out there thinking that she's got a starting spot sewn up. She's never at training thinking, well, I started last time, I'm going to start the next game and be complacent. She believes in herself, and she's really come into this squad and I think made a difference, and happy for her after the amount she's worked in this game already in 45 minutes to get a goal out of it on the other end.
And a good opportunity here for Sky Blue FC to respond. Nicely played ball and good defense by Fishlock. Yes, sliding tackle, corner kick for Sky Blue. Very good execution on that set piece, and now another off the corner.
Be interesting to see who they target here.
Touched away by Solo.
And it's Mathias on the break again.
Does Little with a lot of room to her left. Finds Kim. Yanez, left foot. And the save by Casey. And obviously a momentum shift here fairly early in the second half in favor of the Reign. Looking to go ahead after getting the equalizer.
Seattle looks to be feeling it a little bit right now. A lot of quick combinations. Tremendous counter-attack out of the back, off the box. The punch from Hope off the corner. I tend to be a little bit critical of her, and I thought for a minute she could catch it. She probably could have. I didn't know. She might not have known what was behind her. And again, talk about Merritt Mathias and her work. I thought that could have, she could have boxed it out of bounds and given up a throw-in, but she broke on that ball so well. Put her foot on the ball and found Kim running far. Really good opportunity for the Reign out of that break.
Kim a little offside on that last pass. Free kick for Sky Blue. Crowd today expected to exceed 3,500, and many of them, like the majority of the crowd, over on our side of Memorial Stadium. South stands. You would think in Seattle everybody would be gravitating toward the side with most of the sun. That's the north side of the stadium right now, but a group that's happy to see this turn of events here in the second half with the equalizing goal by Mathias off the pass from Fishlock.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how these next few minutes play out. Like I said, if the Reign can continue to build quickly through the middle and those quick combinations and even find midfielders as they did with Fishlock coming out beyond the front line.
And Sky Blue. Conheeney did not have much to deliver with that ball. She gathered up in the 18. But it will be a corner kick coming up for Sky Blue. And it looks like O'Hara's going to take it, a quick one. And another corner as Barnes deflected it out. Low ball from O'Hara, flicked on. And Matthias decides to play it out for the Sky Blue throw-in. And we're getting our first substitution as Natasha Kai will come off, the goal scorer for Sky Blue in the 15th minute with the header. And coming on is number 12, Kim DeCesar, midfielder. Little. Help the defense out a bit, playing that ball out. Here's Rodriguez. A little hasty in playing that ball forward. Fletcher over to Barnes. Carson Pickett, the rookie out of Florida State. Nice job by Matthias to keep that ball in play.
Substitution for Sky Blue, Kim DeCesar out of Duke University. Forward for the Blue Devils. Replaces Kai. I was impressed with Natasha. I haven't seen her play in a really long time, and some kind of collision here. Caught the back of Fishlock's ankle on the follow-through, Simon did.
By the way, you can't get any closer to the action without being on the team. Join Rain FC on the pitch at Memorial Stadium for your chance to meet players, watch warm-ups, and receive exclusive team signed gear for being part of the Rain VIP experience. You can get more information at rainfc.com/tickets. And a Rain player getting a little bit of assistance.
I think it was Little.
I think Little's up. It's hard to tell as at this angle we are shielded off.
Little's on the ball.
Yanez maybe?
It's Bev Yanez with the bloody nose.
So Bev will come off, get some treatment. We'll see if she'll be able to return. For the meantime, Seattle will be down a player. And the free kick coming up. Little punching it forward. Winters got a foot on it. Throw in for Seattle.
Yeah, Fletcher and Winters are two targets that you want to try to find in the air to be dangerous. That one came in a little bit low for Keelan, but she was also marked really well. I thought she did a good job to lay the ball back there to keep it alive. It would have been nice to see someone following up maybe to get a shot off. I know restarts are something that the Reign over the last couple seasons have really looked to build on and try to put numbers up with players like Fishlock and Yanez and Little. You're going to get fouled a lot in and around the box just on the dribble. They're going to take some hits. So if you're going to earn dead ball opportunities, you want to be good at executing them.
And Yanez getting ready to return to the pitch. And she is back on. So the rain back at full strength. Winters.
The other thing with their block of 8 that's made it a little bit tougher for the rain is getting their outside backs forward. You know, Shauna Gordon, they're sitting in those spaces out wide, and you haven't seen Ellie Reed forward a ton. You haven't seen Carson Pickett forward a ton. The ball's had to been switched out really quickly for them to find space over on that side and catch those outside midfielders. They're 7 and 11 pinched in. Typically a very, very big strength of the Seattle Reign.
Fishlock. And Casey right there. In case you missed the first day of results yesterday in this 4th season of the National Women's Soccer League, Washington a 1-0 win over Boston. The Western New York Flash going to Kansas City and knocking off the 2-time defending champions 1-0. And very impressive win for the Houston Dash, taking down Chicago 3-1. Carly Lloyd scored what turned out to be the winning goal in that Houston victory.
Offside there.
Coming up tonight in Portland, the last 2 teams to get their seasons underway in the league, Orlando at the Thorns down at Providence Park. 7 o'clock kickoff for that one.
I'd say, too, yesterday the results were all maybe in some ways a little bit surprising. The Washington Spirit game, Joanna Lohman scored a cracker of a bicycle kick in the first 3 minutes of the game, I think, and then it was hang on for dear life the rest of the game. You know, that was a pretty evenly contested match.
And the announcement, I think it just came out yesterday. Houston will be the host city for this year's National Women's Soccer League Championship game. The Dash would love to be a part of that. We'll see. Again, a long way to go. They got off to a very impressive start yesterday. Do you like the idea of this, really this league still in its infancy, playing a championship game on a neutral site? We'll see your reaction in just a moment as this ball is played forward to Little. Cuts it back across. And Killian heading it out of danger as
nice
Yanez
work by
was
Sarah
coming
Killian
in.
at that, a little more bend back towards the runner. Would have helped that a little bit, but she did a great job of getting that ball across there.
Now Houston, Sky Blue looking to counter. We were talking about Houston in that city being the host of the championship game. Do you like the idea of neutral site for this league, or would you rather see just let's play it at one of the two squads?
I'd rather see a home game for someone. I think the atmosphere, you know, the idea of it being in Houston.
Yeah.
And last year was it in Portland last year? Yeah. You know, the idea of it being in the MLS type stadiums and those type environments, I understand the reasoning behind it. But if Houston weren't one of the teams, I mean, Kansas City, close enough. I mean, you know, you want to be able to let your home fans
get there.
And I don't know if it is right now ready for that neutral site type thing. I'd prefer to see it at someone's field, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. But hopefully it'll work out for the teams involved, their fans, and the league. To soccer between now and then. Nice play by Winters, unable though to control that ball as we are in the 66th minute and a 1-1 tie right now between Sky Blue FC and the Seattle Reign.
And I'd say that other than right after they scored the goal and having a little bit of a flurry, the Reign and some of the momentum, that it's been pretty even back and forth. You know, both teams have, both teams have enjoyed a couple of different opportunities and have had the ball a little bit.
Rodriguez, nice ball, played ahead. O'Hara couldn't get a lot on that left foot.
No, you've seen Rodriguez a couple different times step up defensively. That's a poor outlet by Hope.
Killian. And that ball, look out, goal! Wow, a shocker that time, as that was 24. Kelly Conheeney coming in and getting the goal. And a terrific pass. We'll have to take another look at it, but
it was. It all started from the poor distribution by Hope in the beginning, I hate to say, and then just lackadaisical work by the Reign. And it might have been Carson Pickett at the end that let it go by, and I don't think that was necessarily a mistake. It looked like it was running out of bounds. As she let it go by her, she let up a little bit, and can't see who that is in the shade, got to the end of it and crossed it. And then look at the back heel. She stretches, it comes off the post, and she mule kicks it.
Boy, special play.
Into the goal. And a lot of bright yellow jerseys standing around watching that. So that one's not going to be friendly to any of the Reign players on the replay. And I'm talking about when Laura replays it for them.
And Seattle looking to respond. Fishlock with Sky Blue up 2-1. Yanez couldn't get ahead on it. Rodriguez trying to play it out of danger. Pops that ball up.
I still didn't see who got on the assist. Who centered that ball for?
I believe
Sky
that
Blue?
may have been Lytle. I believe the announcement was Taylor Lytle.
Yeah, the Reign got caught spread out on the bad distribution, and they ended up getting punished for it. Didn't recover well, didn't react to the turnover. Just a little bit too casual. Sky Blue taking advantage.
So now do you see, we talked about, you score a goal in the first half, you're not going to go right into a massively conservative mode. If you're Christy Hawley, do you maybe look at your future substitutions as players coming in maybe more defensive-minded and try to protect this lead
At
as we head to the latter stages?
At this point in the game, you definitely, and again, they have been pretty good defensively the entire match.
Substitution for Seattle as Mara Mathias comes off, and Kirsten Dahlstrom, number 25, coming on. Kirsten 8 games last season. Had 2 starts.
She'll give you work. She has pace. She'll wreak a little bit of havoc with the defenders and doesn't shy away from the physical part of the game.
Reed playing that long ball into the 18. Fishlock. Yanez battling for it. Little gets a foot in. Here's Winters. Kirsten Dahlstrom crossing it into the middle. Nice ball. Fishlock the header.
Great
Just ball. Missing. Maybe got a little bit on it. Maybe a few locks of that blonde hair, but terrific effort by Jess.
Yeah, that's a great ball by Kirsten Dahlstrom across the box. Sybil gets played inside out, crosses it, and just didn't quite get behind the ball enough, and it redirected across the mouth of the goal and missed the frame.
Foul on Winters.
Foul or no foul, what you don't want to have happen here for the Reign is for them to just start get frustrated and worry too much about, what goes for them and what goes against them. They've got to keep playing. Keelan's good in the air. The ref's saying that she pushed her in the back. That's going to get called sometimes. It's not going to get called other times, depending upon the official. If you have your hands out, it usually is. If you have your forearms out, it won't. I don't think she pushed through her, but, you got to move on.
Barnes moving forward. About 20 minutes remaining in this match. Seattle with a 2-1 deficit after falling behind 1-0 in the 15th minute of this match, getting the equalizer in the 53rd. The goal by Mathias, who is checked out in favor of that player who just got ahead on it, Dahlstrom.
Dahlstrom, who in transition forces a turnover.
Fishlock. The shot, and Casey.
Good save by Caroline Casey. I thought that one had a little bit of a chance. It wasn't struck that hard, and she went down kind of slowly, so I thought it might have gotten by her.
Look at this attempt by Fishlock.
They were calling for a handball. Again, she tries to loop it around her low, but doesn't quite get enough on it.
Kirsten Dahlstrom making her presence felt. It's coming on just a few moments ago.
Yeah, you're going to get a similar thing when you exchange Merritt Mathias for Kirsten Dahlstrom, which is a high work rate and good defending from the front part of the field.
Yanez. Nellis. Tough angle. Thought she might have a chance there. That ability that has led to 55 goals in international play for the Netherlands.
Good touch there and a good touch to run it down. Obviously great awareness to try to find either a player or the net herself on the far post, but just can't get her foot around it enough to bring it back into.
Sky Blue with its second substitution coming on, number 10, Ashley Nick coming off. The rookie out of Penn State, Raquel Rodriguez.
Ashley Nick out of the University of Southern California. Seen quite a bit of her in my time. Strong player, ball winner. Definitely it has the feel of trying to hold the lead.
Part of the national championship team in college back in 2007. Fletcher switching it back over to Barnes.
Yeah, you see Sky Blue sitting about the top of the center circle. They're not coming after it too much. Those 2 blocks of 4 behind the ball.
That foul on Conheeney.
Not smart by Kendall Fletcher there. That's just, that's not a good way to restart play with a free kick, giving it right back to him like that. The Reign have to be a little bit sharper and keep their heads plugged into this. You certainly don't want to give up a third goal. There's enough time left for them to equalize.
And Seattle's second substitution, Rachel Corsi coming on as Ellie Reed comes off for Seattle. So each club now with the 1 remaining substitution. As Ellie Reed receives congratulations from head coach Laura Harvey.
I think that's Mellis came off.
Oh, it was Mellis. My
yeah.
apologies. A similar look with the hairstyle.
Yeah,
It is Milan Mellis off.
There's a lot of doppelgangers out here.
No, we should know. We haven't mentioned Megan Rapinoe yet today.
Yeah, without Rapinoe and Fishlock on the field at the same time.
Yeah.
She was in the autograph in the fan zone before the game. I saw someone hashtag carpal tunnel. I think she signed an autograph for just about everybody in the stands.
Dahlstrom couldn't get a clean shot with that left foot.
That's one there that she would want to have back. She'd split both defenders. She had space in front of her. Take one more touch inside and just place that one, as opposed to rushing a shot. But they're getting looks, which is a plus. So notice they took Mellis off. They've got Ellie Reed pushed up higher. 4 to 5 people almost sitting on Sky Blue's back line. Of course, he can play center back or outside back, so they have her playing. It looks to be they've moved from a 4-back to a 3-back system. We'll see how much Ellie Reed tracks or stays forward.
Foul on Corsi. Back. Corsi right there coming up from behind.
Yeah, a little bit of the hands maybe, but again, the last thing the Reign need to do is worry about it. Just put the ball down and put it into play and get on to the next thing. You got plenty of time left to equalize.
About 15 minutes remaining in the match. I wanted to mention Megan Rapinoe earlier this week at practice. She's beginning the process of running now, straight line running, as she continues her rehab from that serious knee injury suffered in December while training for the U.S. national team, and remains hopeful anyway about the Summer Olympics. Maybe after the Olympics, a return to the rain. We'll have to wait and see, but certainly working hard to get back as quickly as she can to both squads.
Yeah, she's been busy out and about, again, in the community and other communities with her sister Rachel, running some camps and working really hard physically to get back whenever that is. If it's not the Olympics, she'll be back after that. But and if it is the Olympics, you got to tip your hat to her, because that's a great quick recovery.
A very serious ACL injury. At this point, Sky Blue would love to bring some additional possession to this match, continue to work that clock down, add to the frustration of Seattle a little bit, trailing 2-1.
And they've basically pushed Ellie Reed up high as the third forward. Of course, he's playing out here. Pickett's staying fairly high. They're definitely trying to push to get the equalizer.
Fishlock up ahead. Pickett. Yanez trying to cross it back.
Good numbers
into
around the
the
ball
box.
again for Sky Blue.
They closed off that opportunity.
It's a nice sand wedge that Hope just used there. I might have used the 2-iron and pinged it out to Corsi, but worked out for her that time. You know, the one thing I'll say is that I talked about it, I mentioned it a couple times, I don't want to be redundant, but Sky Blue does a good job of getting numbers behind the ball. The longer Seattle takes up front to try to get their shot off or get something on frame, the more time they're giving Sky Blue to recover and get more numbers behind. That last attack got shut down with 2 and 3 behind the ball as Bev was trying to figure out how to wiggle her way into a shot. I think they've got to be a little bit more mobile up front and be a little bit more ready to pull the trigger when the time is on.
Solo plays it out to Corsi as these Reign fans start to come alive a little bit, encouraging their squad to get forward. And then the takeaway. And then Corsi with a foul as she takes down O'Hara. And Rachel Corsi will become the second Reign player booked today, joining Hope Solo.
Bluebirds are out here in Seattle, but you know, every good coach will tell their players, cut across the front of your defender once you beat them, and the worst, you know, the best case scenario is that you break free. The next best case scenario is they have to foul you from behind because they can't get around you. That's exactly what Corsi had to do. Guy behind me is yelling terrible, not so much. Ray needs to...
it's our bonus analyst
yeah,
today.
Bonus analyst to the right. Sky Blue, or Ray just needs to defend this. Good distribution by Hope if she can claim it.
Into the 18. DeCesar got a head on it. A well played ball. Here's O'Hara.
Always dangerous.
Back inside, and DeCesar unable to put it on target. Goal kick coming up for Hope Solo.
Kelly O'Hara's found a lot of happy moments down here on the left side of the field.
It's got to be very comforting for Christy Hawley as he's in this transitional phase as a first-year head coach to have two foundation pieces defensively in O'Hara and Rampone, and know what they not only bring in terms of their ability but leadership and experience onto the field. Can really be a great asset.
Yeah, I'd say right now that you know, again, the thing that's impressed me is that they've been really steady the whole game. There hasn't been, you know, Sky Blue hasn't looked panicked. They haven't, look, overly excited going forward either. They just look workmanlike. They've just taken care of business and sort of played their role. And again, good defending will always help you in games, and they've managed to thwart what's typically a really dangerous attack on the part of
Kim Little.
The Seattle Reign. We haven't called Kim's name much today.
Have not. Here's Ellie Reed.
And I wasn't going to call it there because I thought she was something was percolating there. We'll wait and see. We've still got the ball in the front half of the field.
Pickett. To Little. Well defended that time by Sky Blue. And that will lead to a corner for Seattle as number 8, Kim Little, will work the end line. Final substitution coming up for Sky Blue.
Taylor Little's she's been good for Sky Blue today. Maya Hayes out of Penn State. I think it might be her 3rd year in the league. I think they've played her at the back. She was a forward at Penn State. She was a forward with the under-20 national team. But I believe she may very well go in at outside back here for Sky Blue. We'll see.
So unable to finish that corner kick with a strong shot attempt. Attendance today, 3,987.
What happened to my other 13 friends that said they were coming?
Well, you have to work them a little harder next time. Barnes into the box. Yanez and Casey coming out.
Seattle Reign FC thanks you for coming out to the season opener.
And Yanez shaken up again as she is down near the Sky Blue goal. Don't miss a moment of the action this season. Tickets for all 2016 Reign FC home matches are on sale now at reignfc.com. Reign on the road next week. Next Sunday, they will play at Boston.
Right now, the other substitute, Maya Hayes, is going on, I think, is one of the midfielders. And here we're going to take a look at Bev Yanez. Just looks like her feet got cut up in the turf and she rolled an ankle. She looks to be hobbled a little bit. Up off the bench is number 19 out of the University of Florida. She was a rookie last year, Havana Salon, and unfortunately in our exhibition game at the University of Washington with them broke her ankle, her leg, and has a plate in her leg. Got to spend some time with her this year with the under-23 team after she had rehabbed all year. Went to Croatia. Has done well in the preseason. She's just a crafty, dynamic player. I'm guessing they'll put her in one of the wing spots or throw her in as a 4th forward. But she's very, very fun to watch and great with the ball. And happy to see her back this year. It's almost like having another great rookie.
I think we'll end up with at least a couple of minutes of added time in addition to the 4.5 we have to get to 90. Corsi now. Certainly Sky Blue in a very defensive mindset. Solo well out of goal to attempt to get things going forward offensively. Fishlock. Little. Kim maybe trying to draw a foul, did not.
Maya Hayes has pace. Did I mention that?
You can tell. And she's on the ball now. Defended by Corsi. Good job by Rachel that time to shield Hayes off.
Reign really have to press now.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. Substitution for your
Take another look.
leaving the match, number 7, Ellie Reed.
Yeah, I don't know if Kim tried to sell that one a little bit more, but
Yeah.
a little bit of pressure from the back. So Havana Salon goes on for Ellie Reed.
Oh, big mistake that time. I'm not sure where the miscommunication was between Hope Solo and Kendall Fletcher. I'm not sure Conheeney needed to take that shot from that distance. She may have been able to do a little bit more with that. Although her thought process may have been to try to catch Hope off guard a little bit.
Yeah, they were fortunate not to get punished for that.
Little. Fishlock. Good touch by Winters.
Movement off the ball is going to be key here. They've got good numbers back.
Dahlstrom did not have a very good first touch and the giveaway, but Seattle will have a throw in. Corsi to take it. Now Little had lost it again. Again, that defense for Sky Blue presenting some real issues for Seattle. Dahlstrom, good hustle there. Winters now on the ball. Oh, and Dahlstrom taking herself down, stepping on the ball, Sky Blue, and that was an unnecessary.
Yeah, they're just little things that aren't going great for the Reign right now. It's not sharp, it's not clean. They've got to keep their heads of this and really try to clean things up if they want to mount an attack for the equalizer. The ball I haven't seen that much, and Lou Barnes usually with their left foot, the weak side center back, has typically been pretty good about getting it and looking up and switching it to the far side. Sky Blue's taken it away a little bit, but the times it's been on, it hasn't been on the person's right foot, or they just haven't really looked for it as much today as I've seen them switch out of the back to a high winger or one of their backs getting forward. And I think that's a way that they could spring some life into the attack a little bit.
Fishlock to Little, maybe getting some going here. Right back to Fishlock, the counterattack by the Reign. Fishlock with room, plays it to her right. Salon tracking it down, could not keep it in. Be sure and wear what the pros wear. Pick up the new 2016 jersey for men, women, or kids. We have hundreds of Reign FC items to choose from. Head to ReignFCshop.com.
That's another case there. Again, it just rolls out off the turf. Havana couldn't get a hold of it. Special little combination between Kim and Jess. We've seen it time and time again with this team. Those two can have little magic moments that change a game in an instant. So we haven't seen a ton of Kim this game.
3 minutes of stoppage. By the way, 3 minutes of stoppage time added. So still plenty of time for the Reign to get another couple of opportunities. The defense again by Sky Blue. That was Rampone. I was surprised that she'd be making that type of play, especially late in a match with a game on the line. Barnes with a throw into Pickett. Again, Little gets the ball, and immediately two defenders are right on her. Ball up ahead. Well done by
Kendall Fletcher.
Yep. Dahlstrom.
Just need to connect passes here. That's the ball I'm talking about, and if Lou can get it forward quickly, they got a 2v2 over there, build some numbers, or attack quickly off the switch.
About 90 seconds remaining. Seattle hoping for a late goal. Salvage a draw and a point in this season opener. Fishlock. And Sky Blue again clearing it out. Solo well out of her box to track it down inside of a minute likely remaining in this match. To Caesar.
Coach Harvey in a little bit of pain with every tick of the clock.
Fletcher to Caesar battling for that. Here's Winters. About 30 seconds remaining. Ball last touched by Dahlstrom.
Yeah, just another one of those
Blue
cases, just not a bounce or a touch going the Seattle Reign's way, and it's not playing in their favor with the clock ticking. Well, it'll be interesting to see if the score remains as is, what the takeaways are. There's no doubt that the Reign have a talented team, and
Hayes with a takeaway. Aya Hayes, she's just...
Maybe that'll be the takeaway, too many takeaways.
Yeah, she'll just work clock. No need to go on goal, and that will do it. A significant upset on this opening weekend of play in the National Women's Soccer League as Sky Blue FC comes into Memorial Stadium, and first-year head coach Christy Hawley will leave Seattle and head back east with a victory by a score of 2-1. So congratulations and much credit going to Coach Hawley and his squad to come in against this experienced Seattle squad. And they get the first goal, and they get the go-ahead goal in the second half.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why you play the game, correct? Yeah. And the good news is it's a long season. It's certainly not how you want to open at home. But, a wake-up call for sure. Some things at the Reign we talked about, they're going to be scouted. One of the things that happens when you don't have a brand new team is people know what to expect. They know who your go-to players are. They know the system you play. They know what your strengths are. And clearly Sky Blue did it, having been in the league before, Christy Hawley did a great job of, kind of nullifying what's great about Seattle, which is their build-up play in their midfield. I thought they could have been a little bit more dynamic running out of the midfield and trying to get past their forwards. And again, the forwards at times showed the mobility that they have to spring themselves, but not enough to be dangerous enough of the time today, in my opinion.
So this will certainly give a nice shot of confidence to this Sky Blue FC squad with the 2-1 win. We'll certainly have some excited fans at home next Sunday for their home opener against the Washington Spirit. The 6 o'clock kickoff for that one with 6 new starters in their lineup from a season ago. Very impressive work in game 1 for the Reign. They'll be heading out on the road. They will play at Boston next Sunday. And take a look at what did not fall in place today. Tweak that. You see the next home match. A little anticipation for that one, I would imagine.
Yep.
The team that they have lost to in the last 2 title games, Kansas City FC, will be here on May 1st. Kai Lytle with the goals for Sky Blue FC. Mara Mathias got what was an equalizer in the 52nd minute for Seattle.
Yeah, interesting match for sure. You see a lot of the tweets, coming up, and it's about what kind of force field around this game. This is a weird game. The game felt a little bit off, if you will.
Yeah.
So, when there's expectations and your team is, one of those teams that has those expectations and that target on their back, there's going to be, you have to live up to them.
Comes with the territory.
And that is one of the things about this team that I know for a fact is that they do have really high expectations about how they perform and how they play and how it looks when they play. For as much as they are a great attacking team, I know Laura spends a lot of time talking about defending and defense, and You go down a goal like that on something that certainly was preventable. Again, they were just too loose and not focused enough on being tight in the final third, and they give up a goal, not necessarily against the run of play, but it was too easy, to be frank. And so those aren't going to win you championships. So a good lesson to learn this early in the season, and I know we'll see improvements the next time out, but this game had its moments of typical rain, fun things to watch. And again, I talked about Mary Mathias, the goal scorer. I thought she worked very, very hard. If I were going to have to pick a player of the match for the rain, it would be her.
For Leslie Gallimore, I'm Tom Glasgow. Thanks for joining us. Again, the final score here at Memorial Stadium, Sky Blue FC 2, Seattle Reign FC 1.